Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, great for recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share it with anybody you think might get something out of it. Other than that, guys, how is everybody? I hope everybody's rested up. I hope everybody had an absolutely beautiful, safe, responsible holiday. Christmas for those who celebrate it. Happy holidays to everybody. I myself had an absolutely beautiful day, as I spoke about last night in my video. I woke up this morning just happy. Like, although I was in a bit of a food coma, I'm not gonna lie. I was glad I didn't have any early morning appointments, so I shut my alarm off. I stayed in bed till about 10 o'clock. Got up, said my prayers, and I went and actually, ironically, being that it's Friday, I got up and almost forgot because it was the day after the holiday that I had my AA meeting today. So I was just getting ready to have my coffee and I realized, I'm like, oh my God, I got to get ready to go chair my meeting. And I was thrilled, actually. It wasn't like, oh no, what am I going to do? I was like, oh great, I do have something to do. I got my meeting today. After going to the meeting yesterday as well, I was completely, it almost slipped my mind. So I was glad I was able to get to the meeting early as always. I get there between 11 and 11:30. We open the doors at 11:30. I like to be there to greet people, to help set up, and just be a part of it. And with that being said, it was an absolutely beautiful meeting as always. I will make one side note, not that I'm calling anybody out, but we did have a situation where there was some people talking in the back of the room while people were reading and sharing. And again, I get it, it happens, but guys, and I'm not calling anybody out, but you know what? Particularly people early in recovery come to these meetings and they can be very anxious, and if they're whether they're just reading literature or whether they're speaking, it's very disruptive to speak over somebody, and somebody can feel very put off by that. It wasn't a big deal today, but I only bring it up because guys, just don't do that. If you need to take a phone call, or you need to talk to somebody about something, either wait till after the meeting or just step out in the hallway. Like, it's just out of respect for others, because you never know what somebody might be going through, how hard of a time they might be having speaking on something, and you never want to belittle or have somebody think that they're being belittled at a meeting. So not a big deal. Wasn't anything tragic, but just something to keep in mind, guys. With that being said, I love my meeting. It was an absolutely beautiful meeting today. It was a beautiful reading. It was the reading was Live and Let Live, and that's a great. It was a great reading and a lot of really good people sharing a lot of very informative, very good stuff. I enjoyed the meeting a lot, like I always do. I stuck around afterwards to sign slips and just I love that I've been going here long enough. I love that I've been chairing for months now, that I'm getting to be known for the meeting. I got another compliment that people love how Friday is one of the bigger meetings because it's getting very popular. I love that. I love being a part of that. And I just love being there for other people. And it's not about me bragging on what's great in my life. I like to let them know that things do work. But I like to be there for them and just take a role where I get to listen and encourage and let people know that there's somebody there caring and somebody that cares for them, guys. All these things I could never do before. Turning my will over to God is just is powerful. Like, it's literally what you're doing, guys. We're not, when we say surrender to a higher power, it's not throwing in the towel. It's adopting power that is greater than you. It gives you the power to overcome things that you can't. Guys, it's never failing power. And that's the reading today, guys. Never failing power. As we learn to trust this power, we begin to overcome our fear of life. We are people accustomed to placing all of our eggs in one basket. Many of us had one particular drug of choice that was our favorite. We relied on it to get us through each day and make life bearable. We were faithful to that drug. In fact, we committed ourselves to it without reservation. And then it turned on us. We were betrayed by the only thing we had ever depended on, and the betrayal left us floundering. Well, now that we've stumbled into the rooms of recovery, we may be tempted to rely on another human being to meet our needs. We may expect this from our sponsor, our lover, or our best friend. But dependence on human beings is risky. They fall short of perfection. They may be on vacation, sleeping, or in a bad mood when we need them. Our dependence must rely on a power greater than ourselves, God. No human force can restore our sanity, care for our will and our lives, or be unconditionally available and loving whenever we are in need. We place our trust in the God of our understanding, the only power that will never fail us. And the affirmation is just for today. I will place my trust in a power greater than myself, for only God will never fail me. And guys, I will say that 100 times over. I've tried this recovery thing for all my life, guys. I've been an addict since I was a child. I'm with under 2 weeks away from my first legitimate 1 year free of drugs, and I'm thrilled for that. Guys, I have not spent a year sober since I've hit double digits, and I'm talking 10. Like, that's brutal, right? I don't know how to live sober. I don't know how to build a life sober. So I turn my will over to God. I seek God's will for me on a daily basis. And lo and behold, in just shy of 12 months, I've put together a life that shocks me constantly. Doesn't mean I'm on easy street. Doesn't mean I'm collecting money for just being me. No, I'm out here working my ass off. I've always worked my ass off. I don't mind working my ass off. Honestly, I have a sense of accomplishment at the end of the day. I'm not somebody that can sit around and do nothing. That's my personality. But I love my life today. I love working hard. I love working hard for myself, guys. I love the fact that, again, on Friday, I just stopped at the bank and put a check in the bank and looked at my balances and said, oh my God, thank you. Like, I have opportunities today, guys. And I just spent a bunch of money for Christmas, and that was perfectly fine. It felt good to do so. It felt so good to give gifts that were meaningful. And I actually took out some cash and just went around and handed out tips to people, and I gave I gave some money out to some less fortunate people, just whether they were asking or not, because it just felt good. And it feels good to be able to do that, guys. At no other point in my life did I literally have it make no bit of a difference. Now, I'm not going to go crazy with it because, again, I'm putting my needs first. It's very important for me to show that I'm following through with my program and that my program works because it encourages others and it keeps me on track. I'm going to buy a property this year, and I talk about this a lot because, guys, it was a pipe dream, and it was the only pipe dream that I knew if I actually worked at it could have been a reality, and it could have fixed everything that could have overcome all of my lack of effort and my lack of planning, my lack of strategizing, my lack of saving, my lack of doing. For all those years, like, I'm in a position where, because of the work that I've done and showing up every morning, even when I was hurting and this and that, and I didn't do it right because I was getting high and I was making all my mistakes, but I was at least showing up and doing work. I was showing my value to some people who took notice of that and then wanted better for me. And those are my friends now, my Doug, Ed, my customers. Like, I spent half my day yesterday going and visiting with customers. Matter of fact, the one job that I went and did after my meeting today was a service call from my friend Ed. I got to his building, and I'd seen him yesterday morning on Christmas. I knew he's by himself, and his kids are traveling, so I stopped by to say hi because he's gotten to be a friend of mine, and he ended up giving me a gift I didn't expect. So when I went there today, and I did 2 service calls, and he's in his 90s. He was down on the first floor. He lives on the third, and he's like, "Oh, go get an invoice and come upstairs with me, and I'll write you a check." And I'm like, "You know what, Ed? I'm like, you know what? This is a good one to say thank you." I said, "No, there's no need of that. I know you're heading out. Don't worry about it." And I could have easily just given him the invoice, got a check from him later, but instead, I decided to just let him know that this one was on the house. And you know what? It was nice to see you at Christmas. I appreciate all the support you've given me all year. This one's a freebie. This one's a gift. And you know what? I know that meant something to him. And again, it wasn't a big deal. It was a couple $100. Like, I work, guys. I'm all about saving money. I'm very, very shocked at how much I've saved. I enjoy doing it because I'm saving for a down payment to buy $1 million rental property that is my future plan. And when I own 5 3-family houses, like, I know I'll be in a position where I'm set for the rest of my life, regardless of which direction I go with it. But either way, I know I'll be worth, at least on paper, 10 to $20 million, and that's amazing. Like, at no other point in my life would I have ever believed it was actually possible, even though it's always been possible. Anything is possible if you decide you're going to do it and then you follow the action plan. And that's what I do today. And that is only possible because I'm in recovery. Guys, the second I relapse, I'm either going to die or I'm going to piss through that down payment before I ever get it made. Or even if it's after I buy the first property, I'll start making mortgage payments and I'll be collecting rents and blowing it. Like, I know none of what I have today will sustain for a second if I relapse. So I keep recovery first. I make videos every day, whether it's Halloween, Christmas, New Year's Eve, and I will be posting a video on New Year's Eve and on New Year's Day. I will post a video every day because this keeps me in tune with my recovery program. I went, as much as I was looking forward to going and spending the day with my brothers and the family, and guys, I got a picture on my phone of the family photo from yesterday. I got to go count the heads. It was like 35 people there yesterday. It was a day full of laughter, hugs, gifts, love, and some of the best food I've eaten in a long time. It was one of the brightest, most beautiful days of my year. But even then, when my friend texted me and let me know she was chairing the AA meeting, because I'd been toying with the idea of going to the AA meeting just to show support for those who didn't have a place to go. But then I found out we were meeting at 1, so I was going to forego it. And then I knew my friend sending me that message was all it took. I said, you know what? No, there's a reason I wanted to go to that meeting. And I did. I called my family and let them know. I said, listen, I'm going to be there a little bit after 1 because I'm going to stop and go to my AA meeting and show support. And they're like, oh, good for you. We love that. My family knows that everything, like my brother calling me a couple last week and saying, hey, it was such a gift of sobriety where you were able to show up at both my house and Brian's house and save us when we had issues with hot water and heat. He's like, that was amazing, and you know, I want you to know how much it meant to us. Like, that's huge. But they also know I'm only able to do that because I put my recovery first, and they support that 100%. And I love that about them, guys. I'm in a situation where I'm very transparent. Everybody knows my history. My history's, like, a lot of it's public record. You know, they know how much time I spent in prison. They know I was homeless. They know the multitude of things that I've had to struggle with and have to overcome. And they know the traumas that brought me there because they're my brothers. They were there with me every day. You know, they saw everything I put myself through, and that's a big distinction. I used to say everything I've been through. No, it's everything I put myself through. Maybe some of the early stuff, but even then, it was a choice. I have I have a lot of leadership qualities. There was all of us there in the same situation, and I chose to be the one to go jump in front of the stick or the knife or the bullet or whatever you want to call it. Because that's my natural nurturing nature, and because of it, what I didn't understand at the time is that those traumas carried a lot more weight that I was capable of carrying at the moment, but I had the courage to stand in front of it to protect my brothers, and they know that, and it broke their heart to know that I'd done that to protect them, and then they couldn't do anything to protect me from myself. But none of that matters today, guys. And I just say this is to share and let people know, because other people will identify that. And again, it's okay because none of that is holding me back today. I've cracked the code. I'm on the fast track. Like, all these things that I say are true because I live them every day, because I take stock, not because, and again, in the early days, yes, I was calling it out. That was faith. That was showing God, I've heard you. I've received your message. If I do the work, you're going to blow my mind with what's possible. I knew that wholeheartedly. I put it on in public on videos. And again, he's blown my wildest dreams out of the water. Like, I cannot believe I've made the strides that I've made this year. And again, not me. God has done through me and in me. And I'm honored to be who I am. It's nothing shy of miraculous that, again, just over a year ago, I was walking into a rehab, tears in my eyes, choking up, realizing that I'd blown my entire life. Here I was again at the bottom. If I didn't do this rehab thing right, I was going to be homeless. If I screwed up again like I have every single time, like I was so beaten down that I was finally willing to ask God for help and then meet him halfway and accept the help and do the work, not think I knew the right answers. So once in my life I said, no, I don't, because clearly my answers are wrong. Every time I've thought I've had something right, I've blown it. Even if I've set a goal in mind, I've tunnel visioned that one goal and burnt everything else around me, so I knew I needed balance. Like, for once in my life, I looked at the totality of what I've been doing and didn't just come up with one answer, but I was able to see the bigger picture of the mistakes that I was making. So again, didn't just condemn myself and say, oh, I'm 50, at the time I was 51. Oh, I'm 51, I haven't gotten it yet, there's no way I'm gonna. No. Now is the time. All I have is now. So let me do it right now. And that's all I've done, guys. Other people have done better. Other people haven't done as well. That's okay. We all have our own path to walk. I'm only concerned with mine. I don't compare myself to anybody else. I compare myself to where I was, to where I am, to where I'm going, and I give accolades to God. I've adopted a power greater than me, so much greater than me, unfailing, unending, unwavering power at my disposal. Doesn't mean I get to snap my fingers and have a $1 billion in cash appear at my fingers. No, because I don't deserve that. I haven't earned that. But it means if I show up every day doing the right thing to the best of my ability, not to perfection, because only God is perfect. I am not, and I never will be. If I show up and just do the best I can, try to make the best decisions, apologize when I'm wrong, make right my wrongs when I can, and just do the best I can and pay attention and try to be there for others and try to share openly. Try to use my mistakes to help somebody else from having to repeat them and learn the lessons that I have as hard as I have. Then, so long as I do these things and then get up and answer the phone every day and get up when my back hurts and get up when I'm tired and get up when I want to stay in bed all day and go answer service calls and then know my worth and charge accordingly, then the sky is the limit. I can do anything I want. I'm debating. I'm not even really debating. I'm trying to decide when the most appropriate time is because, guys, you know what I've come to the conclusion? I deserve a tropical weekend. I love the beach. I love the Bahamas. I'm looking forward to going to Aruba, but I'll wait until I have a significant other in my life. When I have a woman that I can go enjoy my time with, and I'll splurge on an Aruba trip. But sometime between now and my birthday, I'm going to take a weekend and go to the Bahamas. And it's not the financial constraint that's an issue because Bahamas for me at this point is cheap. It's about when I can set aside the responsibilities I have because I got to be concerned with snow and I got to be concerned with heat season and I got to be concerned with customers. And again, I will put my needs first because I deserve a break, but I would just do so in the smartest way possible. In the past, I'd be like, oh, if I'm going to go, let me sign up and go now and blow off a bunch of responsibilities. No, I can't do that. I carry my responsibilities, but I also know I'm due for a break and I deserve at least, 3 or 4 days relaxing on the beach in the Bahamas. And this time around, it won't be to drink alcohol. It won't be to do cocaine. It won't be. I'll be very careful about who I go with. I'll look ahead of time to see if there's meetings available, so I can plan a meeting around my vacation. I will let my recovery network know where I'm going to be and make sure I'll have access to call people at all times. These are the ways, guys. I can do anything I want in life, and I can do it more than once if I do it responsibly. And I know how to do things responsibly today. I'm still learning in many ways, but I know like if I want to go somewhere, no problem. Look ahead of time. Make sure there's a meeting because there's a meeting everywhere. We had the 3 different people at the meeting today that were home for the holidays and looked up and found our meeting, and they're like, and the first thing they said is, "Hey, thank you so much. It can be tough being back with family and triggers and things like that," and they were appreciative of us being there for them. And when I go somewhere else, I know I can be appreciative that there's other people that will be there for me. That's the beauty of working a recovery program, guys. So many different blessings come of it. But again, one thing we all need, addiction is a monster bigger than any of us. We need a power that is also bigger than any of us to fight it. And that power is readily available. Prayer, meditation, whatever your version of that looks like. I'm not saying it has to look like mine, but do it honestly and do it to the best of your ability. Don't let anything get in your way and don't pick up that first one regardless of what it is. Guys, thank you so much for being here with me. Always remember, God loves you. I love you. We'll see you in the next one.